This video is actually for a particular YouTuber, but I thought it might be good to not mention the person's name that I'm making this for. Not that the person asked me personally, but she put a query out there, and I thought it was a good subject. And basically the subject is, well, let me just do this like I'm talking to the person. Okay, so you said you're looking for a martial art that's going to help you with your spiritual practice, and you're concerned with learning how to defend yourself as a woman. Well, this could apply to anybody, whether they're a man or not. But the main thing I want to make clear, in case you get bored and click out because I'm rambling too much, is that I do not think that you should make your martial arts practice be the thing that tunes your spirituality. You should have your spirituality should be the thing that tunes your martial arts practice. The martial arts are a tool, and you should use that tool to build your spiritual practice. Now, it sounds like I just contradicted myself, but I haven't. Look at it this way. Think of a sword. If I use a sword as a weapon to harm, then I'm using my sword to harm someone. But if I want to learn how to handle the sword, and in the process of learning how to handle the sword, I become a hard worker, and it bleeds into other areas of my character, then I've used that sword as a tool to affect my character. Well, see, this is the thing. A lot of the martial arts that are aimed at spiritual development are not necessarily going to cover self-defense. And the martial arts that are geared towards self-defense tend to not have much care for your spirituality. So if you want both goals, you really cannot get both goals from any one style. And I'm going to even go deeper than that and appear to contradict what I just said. Because what it really comes down to is the martial artists. A lot of times, a lot of martial arts practitioners, regardless of style, are either in it for spiritual development or character development, or they're into it for self-defense. You do have us rare ducks like myself who are into it for both self-defense and character development. But that's not from a style. That's from a place where I've arrived just as a person. I can't even say it's where I've arrived as a martial artist, even though I see that as being maturing in the martial arts and realizing that it's not just about knocking people upside the head, and seeing how you could use that area of activity to help people improve as human beings. If you look at old writings on karate, they say the purpose of karate is to improve the character. Improving somebody's character should actually mean that they get into less fights, less confrontations, unless you're in a war. So that's why, if you're looking for a style that props itself and proclaims that we're about character development here, or even a school, that's good, and I'm not going to knock that. But I don't know what your level of development is. But if you don't have a black belt or the equivalent, basically at the level where you can go off on your own and find your own journey, and if you're really concerned about learning how to defend yourself, per se, I'm going to make a lot of people mad saying this. Right now, you don't need to be around the spiritual people. And see, that's one thing that got me in trouble when I was in my like late 20s, early 30s. I know that offended some people. I was like, people were trying to say, well, no, so you need to try to, become more spiritual, evolve, learn about healing and stuff. I was like, I want to learn about healing and become more involved. That's cool. But I need to learn how to protect myself. I'm sorry. Now, I already knew how to protect myself. But I wanted to learn how to do it even better. Because that's when my kids came in my life. That's around the time I got married. I was like, no. Now, I need to know how to protect me and mine's, period. What I ultimately found is I already knew a lot of stuff. But going back and looking for it helped me learn how to organize what I was doing so that I could teach somebody else how to do what I want to do. So, this is what I recommend for your particular path. From what you've said. You like Tai Chi? And since you're concerned with spiritual development and you like Tai Chi, I would make Tai Chi be your main base and focus for your practice. And in turn, I think you should... Tai Chi is your primary time focus. And in turn, I think you should cross-train in other martial arts. Which style? Doesn't matter. Now, before I start talking about pros and cons of different styles and things that you can study, I'm going to tell you this. Don't tell the people that you are working out with what your internal game plan is for martial arts. Because what everybody likes to do, and I've probably been guilty of this myself, is we like to change your game plan to match our game plan. Because everybody likes to think that they're right. If you want to stay true to the direction that I think you want to go in, which is you want both. You want spiritual and practical. Then you need to keep your mouth shut when you're training. When it's practical time, you talk to the practical people who can help you, and you don't expect them to help you spiritually. When it's spiritual time, keep your mouth shut. You just speak spiritual matters with spiritual people. And also, as far as a teacher, I believe in God. I'm a Christian. That's probably going to turn you off right there. But if you haven't clicked out yet, you need to make God your primary teacher. That doesn't mean you sit around and wait for God to appear on a puff of cloud to give you your techniques. Although I've kind of done that in a way too. I'm not going to get into that right now. But you let your spirit be your guide. And I'm telling you, I don't care who it is. And I don't care if they've been great for you for 18 years. If on year 19, for some reason, your spirit is telling you something is off about the person that you're training with, you stop training with them. I can tell you from experience, every time I ignored spiritual warnings, I paid for it. Every single time. I got hurt. Or, you know what? You would call it the universe. Found a way that it just didn't work. It was like I heard in the spirit, your time with X is up. You need to move on now. And I always, no, I want to cling to X. Your time with X is over. But I want to cling to X. If something didn't happen to me, situations change where it's like, I've got to give up training with X because duty calls over here in another area of my life. So pay attention to that and just don't let the universe smack you upside the head. If it's time to make a change, you need to make a change. I'm going to stop this here and I'm going to do a part 2.